By, I just wanted to briefly go over um, the coronavirus a little bit, or the SARS-2. And I wanted to say that sorry I haven't done much on the updating. I'm toward the end of a semester in classes. I have a lot of personal things going on. A couple of my neighbors got coronavirus. Some of them had to go to the hospital. And their children got it, and the dad's in the hospital, but the mom's having trouble breathing. They just gave her an inhaler, and she didn't have asthma before. So we're going over there and bringing them care packages with a safe distance, and of course we had a storm over here. And then on top of it, one of my family members said a co-worker tested positive for COVID, and they were told to stay home for 14 days. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I've been kind of running around cleaning and doing a lot of work. I did mean to get a video up on the Barron Trump series, and I tried uploading it and I couldn't get it up. So I do have one already prepared I'm going to upload. As you know, this is a variety channel, and it has serious stuff and then funny stuff and just educational stuff. But right now we're close to 5 million Americans with testing positive that are tested, and we have a remarkable health care system here, because this is a really serious disease, and the medical communities in the United States have done an outstanding job helping to mitigate a lot of the damage. Because I'll tell you what, the death rate, as we know, in a lot of other countries is probably a lot worse. And some countries, I don't know if we can even trust their counts, but suffice it to say, it's remarkable that we have so few deaths with so many cases. 5 million, 157,690 deaths. That's not that many, considering there's almost 5 million people infected. And right now in my area, it's about 7% of the people testing positive that get tested. Virginia's got a new app that you can download, and it's voluntary. It doesn't track you, but it allows people that are COVID positive to put in there where they've been, if they've gone to a store at a certain time, and if you want to let your device know where you've been, then they might say, well, you might have been in contact with someone, so you can go get a test. But I wanted to let you know that the immune system is not the same in everybody. Not everybody has the same immune health, and your immune system is part of a system that is considered bidirectional, according to psychoneuroimmunologists and health psychologists, where they look at the mind-body connection. They study how stress affects your body, and they also study complementary, adjunctive, or alternative medicine that you add on to regular medicine, and they practice preventative medicine. So eating right, getting enough rest, things that will help support your immune system. So as you get older, your immune system doesn't work as well, and your biological age is different from your actual age. Although there's general averages, you can have somebody in their 30s that has been sitting in front of the computer on a regular basis, day in and day out, doesn't get exercise, eats a lot of junk food, overeats, and develops near type to diabetes, and they're in their 30s and they just can't stand exercising, and they're not as well. So, and then you might have like a 50-year-old that exercises, works out, eats right, and their immune system is kind of in better shape or about the same shape as the 30-year-old that's been spending the past 15 years sedentary and overeating. So overeating not nutritious foods. It might be different if they were eating vegetables all day that are organic or something, but it's so I just wanted to kind of add this in. There are at-risk groups, and some of the at-risk groups are due to modern lifestyle. Some of the at-risk groups are due to inherited genetics. So the situation is very fluid right now, okay? You're going to be hearing different things from day to day. It's changing from day to day what we hear, what the experts say. I was reading an article about someone that was going to have to get one of their, they're talking about amputation of one of their limbs, something to do with the COVID toes, or it's some kind of, something happened, I don't know, some type of infection. So basically this infection is serious, and what happens is if you go over to like MedCram, right, they'll explain some of the stuff, but I wanted to show you one of the things that they've been saying there a lot is they've been talking about, and I've been reading articles too, that your endothelial or inside your veins, inside your body, this is where the virus attacks. People get clots. This is like the entire network in your body of blood flowing. Okay? It goes into the brain. They've found that so if you're getting attacked in your network in you have more than just this is going all over your body. Okay, that's why they had these multiple organ failure, these children that got it's kind of like a I forget the name of it, I'm not a doctor. It's where you get sort of like a complete, it's almost kind of like toxic shock or something. Some little kids are getting it too, which is surprising, but you can get it in your it's everywhere. Like, that's why you're getting the COVID toes. It's throughout your body. So what do you do to prevent this from becoming acute, right? It can cause heart attacks, strokes. This is especially true during the sequelae, according to some of the studies. So what happens is the body starts getting damage to it from the virus inflammation, and it attacks other areas because of where it's attaching, how it's attaching. It's the ACE2 receptors, and it's mimicking the regular, well, it's actually, it's using the cell host to multiply, and it's a very dangerous for some people. Now, as I mentioned, very often as you get older, your immune system isn't working as well. And so this is actually the pathway diagrams of the endothelial COVID cycle here. You can just Google images, and then one of the problems with the lungs that it does to the lungs that they're finding out afterwards is this thing called fibrosis, where the lungs get like stiff. They don't have the elasticity anymore. It's almost like denatured protein. You know, when you fry an egg, it's made of protein, but it's liquidy before you cook it, and then you can't uncook it, right? Well, it's kind of like that with the COVID. So basically, what it is you have to get to this before the damage gets this bad. What can modern medicine do for this? They have prescriptions that can mitigate some of these cytokine storms that happen. And the cytokine storm is just your immune system trying to attack it. It's you know, when you cut yourself, stuff swells up or it bleeds. Your body's like miraculous. Honestly, it can really cure a lot of things, but it has to be in tip-top shape to do that. And I think the reason some of these children are able to fight this off is that the children can rest when they need to rest. They listen to their body. If they're hungry or tired, they take a nap. They don't have as many demands on them. And a lot of times their immune systems are really resilient, but that is assuming it is a child that's really healthy. Not all children are healthy. Some children get cancer, you know, and so some children have diabetes. We're not all the same, so it's not one size fits all, but there are percentages, right? So with the coronavirus, they're just learning. The situation is fluid, and they are discovering. See, it's saying the cytokine storm. Now these TAIL, these are all. This monocyte is a type of cell that's like in your white blood cells. It's fighting bacteria, foreign invaders, right? It's coming to get after this. It's like an army coming out, and it's swelling up. It's trying to get rid of the stuff, but unfortunately, there's some problems with the hypercoagulity. What they're talking about is clotting, like really thick. Okay, coagulation. So, but the other problem is hemorrhaging or clotting. So you've got a delicate balance going on. That's why you need a doctor to help you out sometimes. Of course, you have your own doctor inside of you. What do I mean by that? Your immune system can often fight a lot of stuff off, but stress, worry, that can lower your immune system. Depression, and actually one of the big things with this is that if you are laid out and you develop this, it can cause depression. It's just like if you break your arm or your leg, you might get depressed because you can't do stuff as much. If you get in a car accident, you get depressed. So it's a setback, and it can cause depression and grief. And so it's stressful too. So this is nothing to like play around with. Alright? It's nothing to play around with. It's nothing to blow off. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's as bad as the flu, and it's not that bad. How many people die of the flu? Now this is a serious problem, and there are natural blood thinners that you can take at home. Evening primrose oil, ginkgo thins your blood. Aspirin thins your blood. N-acetylcysteine thins your blood. Vitamin C thins your blood. There's a whole list. Omega-3 oils, like those omega-3 pills, those usually will thin your blood. Now, on the opposite end, things like vitamin K will help your blood coagulate or hold it together so you don't hemorrhage. So there's a delicate balance going on in your body, and you really need to speak with a doctor to get an action plan of what you're going to do to try to mitigate this or prevent this happening to you. And I can't really tell you what to do, but I can say what I know and what I've heard. And there tends to be a lot of people, they're saying like type O people type O blood are a little bit more resilient, but they still die of it. Why? Because maybe they have diabetes, maybe they are older. So it's kind of like a crapshoot, really. Excuse my language. Pardon my French. But I really need to try to get going. But there's this whole thing going on, which is similar. You know, I was reading on just heart attacks in general and strokes, and I was reading some things about how a lot of people that get heart attacks sometimes also have gum disease, and that you got to take care of your teeth because some of the plaque that builds up in your veins is, you know, like it's this gut biome, like the biome that's in you already. Well, it's not just viruses, it's also, you know, you have friendly bacteria and viruses, and then you have fatal bacteria and viruses, and each person's different on how they react to that. So, you know, they've got this strep A that some people carry, and it doesn't do anything to them. They're asymptomatic, and then other people get strep A, and they wind up getting, I think it's, I forget what it's called. It's like blood poisoning, blood infection. Oh, gross. Ugh. Anyway, there's a lot of different bacteria that, I'm sorry, I'm not very professional. This is why I don't want to get in medicine that much. But, so it's messy. Life can get messy, and these viruses, they serve a purpose in nature. And animals like bats. We got bats in my area. I live in an area where there's bats, and lo and behold, my neighbor has COVID. Maybe if a bat, you know, could be a different variety of it. I don't know what variety they have, but Virginia has an app now, and maybe some other states have too. So you can add this app to your phone, and it will let you know if someone near you had COVID and if you should go get a test. I wish they had a voting app over here. But anyway, yeah, so that's the long and short of it for today. I'll try to upload this other video that I couldn't get up on the Barron series. And I'm putting some sources in here. And then eventually, there's some evidence, by the way, on asthmatics. I kind of looked this up because I've got asthma. It's non-allergic asthma for some reason, and I noticed cleaning with Clorox triggers it. So they actually have support groups on Facebook for people with asthma, and they have support groups on Facebook for people with coronavirus. I learned this on MedCram. So there's a couple of channels here you can watch on YouTube. I'll put the links below. And I want to thank you for listening and your patience. This week's going to be particularly busy for me. If I happen to catch this, I may not be on for a while. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and take care and stay healthy. Bye.